Welcome back to the Playbook. This is a special edition. The WNBA season just started. We had to come on really quick and a bit earlier than normal because we hoped for an easy weekend, and unfortunately, it's not going to be that. I am Candace. This is Kay. We are Girls Only Sports. Please follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, our website, girlsonlysportsnetwork.com. Please chat with us in the comments. We're all into it, but keep it cute. Because we're already going through it.
Because I got Twitter fingers.
Listen, we're already going through it, and the season hasn't even, it's just 2 days old. So we're going to start off in our full court press to just run through a couple of the games that went on Friday and today, and then talk about our experience at Indiana. We were at the game today, Indiana versus Chicago, and during our X's and O's segment, we're going to obviously talk about the energy shift that happened during that game where the script writers for season 2 decided to go back to the original book. So before we get to that, let's just get it started for a couple of the games that we saw on Friday. We got our first look at this season. The Minnesota Lynx took on the Dallas Wings, obviously Paige Becker's season debut, but Nafisa Collier, it's at this point, it's just like, ugh. What are you going to do? She had 34 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 for 21 shooting. It was utterly ridiculous. Her and Courtney Williams, who had 25 points or so, they beat the Dallas Wings 99-84. And that was without, I believe it was 2 starters. Elena Smith didn't play, Alana Smith, and I think Kayla McBride was out as well. We said the Lynx was going to be scary season.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead and give her the MVP.
No. Not after game one.
Game one. Fee, I'm telling you, I've been saying this since Unrivaled. Fee's coming for it this year.
She coming for the crown?
And she
coming for the crown, but she got some competition, and she got some competition by the player who already got the crown on.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
But Fee showed out. Dallas, while Paige had a good debut, obviously you don't want to start the season with a loss, but they had a lot of changes, as we mentioned before. Dejanay Carrington, Alyssa Smith, Maisha Hines-Allen. It's going to take some time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these teams. It's going to take time to build some rapport, because we always talk about it's given draft day, 2 days training camp,
right.
Season start.
Right.
So it's going to take some time. And then the preseason is 3-4 games, something light. It's going to take time for these teams to get into a rhythm. I'm all on Dallas bandwagon, so thanks. I think it's gonna take a minute, but I think they're gonna settle in. They'll figure it out, get the pieces in order, and who needs to be where and what needs to happen to make it a well-oiled machine. But I know I called Fee game 1 MVP, but I think it's gonna take some time for everybody to settle in. So I'm not too worried yet.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Dallas, even in their first game. It's just I'm not a big fan of their offense. It's given you get the ball, you figure it out however you want to do it. Let's get some. It's. I think they're gonna have to find a way either to play on the ball, make her be the point guard, or kind of run a 2-man show at the top, because their offense sputtered to a point where I didn't necessarily like. Granted, they were playing against the Minnesota Lynx, so if there was a test to be made, I'm going to give them a little bit of grace, since it was a finals runner-up with a MVP candidate. But their offense left a lot to be desired. But that was Minnesota and Dallas. Also on Friday, the Atlanta Dream played the Washington Mystics. And, you were like, Atlanta is Atlanta.
I'm not saying I told you so. Because, like I said, I'm giving everybody game 1 grace. But
Washington came in there without Aaliyah Edwards, with a whole bunch of rookies. And
tighten up.
Kiki looked good. Sonia Citron looked good.
Kiki looked good.
Oof. Atlanta again.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. I guess like you, I need to start giving these teams grace. At the same time, seeing the years of professionals, meaning Alicia Gray, Ryan
Yeah.
Howard, Brianna Jones, Brittany
BG.
Griner. I just would have. I mean, maybe my expectations were too high. I just didn't think that the Washington Mystics would be in a game with them, especially with a team who we kind of put in championship or bust just because of the stakes and the moves that they made in the offseason. But like you said, it's going to be testing the waters a little bit. But Atlanta,
Yeah. I'm still giving them grace, but also, you know how I feel about the Dream. You never know what's going to happen. They can go one way or they can go the other. You just never know. But it's early. Hopefully they get a little jitters out. Everybody gets to clicking. How you play with each other. I think that's the thing too. Being in a new, like BG and them, everybody's in a new system, new styles of play, new offense, new defense, everything. So it's going to take some time. Do I think this is the game that's going to be like, oh, this is how Atlanta Dream season is going to go? No.
I thought you would be like, yes.
I mean, with me and the Dream, I would expect to say that too. But no, again, I'm giving grace right now. It's early.
Yeah.
But that wasn't good.
I was a little shocked for it to be the first game of the season, but Washington Mystics got off to a great start. The next game that happened on Friday was the Los Angeles Sparks against the Valkyries. So we got to see the Valkyries, the expansion team this year. The crowd was incredible for that team. I will say their color scheme, it works for me. I can't knock it. Their roster construction.
Beautiful gowns.
Yes, that's what it's given because, they had 3 draft picks this year. None of those players made the final roster, and there were some other surprising moves. Mainly for me, Letitia Meteor got cut, and seemingly was a player that could be used in whatever system the Valkyries choose to run. But the roster construction just looked. I just had some questions.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of what are they going to do? What is the plan? I think is the real thing. What's the plan in Golden State? What are we going to try? Like, what's the plan for the team this year? Who is the focal point? Mm-hmm. There's just so many things that you just question watching Golden State. So again,
first game, but
we said it though. Like, this is a team that you expect them to be around that 13-12 all season.
Yeah.
In the rankings. So not
beautiful gowns.
Well, beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. The Los Angeles Sparks won that game. Kelsey Plum gets her first win as a LA Spark, 84-67. She had 37 points. Obviously, now she gets to be the focal point of this Los Angeles Sparks offense. She did play all 40 minutes, but I will say, how did you think Kelsey looked being the center of the offense? Obviously, she had to take a shared seat in that Las Vegas Aces roster for all those years. But now being like the go-to scorer, KP looked good.
KP looked good. KP showed up to the moment. She said, I didn't play my role for however many years in Vegas. It is my time. And she did not disappoint. The lights was bright and KP showed up. So shout out to her. 37 points.
37 points.
Most in
to start a season, like
start a season, yeah.
Yeah, she played really well. Ray Burrell, unfortunately, got hurt that game. She'll be out like 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to hurt them. Yeah. They're still trying to work Cam Brink back into the game. I do think, although she was mighty efficient, Kelsey Plum, in this game, offensively, that load can be a lot. And it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on how that Los Angeles Sparks offense is able to find some continuity with all the players and see if they can share the ball and share the offensive load. While, she is, I believe, Kelsey Plum, the second all-time leading scorer in the NCAA. with the talent that is in this league, I think that is too much for one player. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll be able to share the ball on the Sparks. But they had a really good showing. So for today's matchups or Saturday's matchups, we obviously had our premier rivalries, I guess you can say. We'll start with the one that's kind of carried the league for the last 4 or 5 years. Stewie versus Asia, the Liberty versus the Aces. It was ring day for the New York Liberty. They got their ring from their championship last year. They bring in a new player. Natasha Cloud takes over the point guard duties. Natasha looked good on this Liberty team.
Yeah, they had a Natasha out there looking elite.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's what you can do? It's been a minute since I've seen that Natasha Cloud.
Yeah, and I know you said before on our previous show that it was like back to back, but they got some talent on this roster. Even though Benijah Lady's going to be out with Natasha Cloud and Jonquel and Stewie, and Sabrina had an off day. And still were able to win a pretty convincingly against Aces.
Yeah, if Natasha Cloud's able to play like that
every game,
it's scary. If she can be consistent in that production, it is scary for the Liberty. I'm already biting my words on that one. I said they was not back to back and didn't get back to back. These teams is loaded. That's what she said. But I don't know. That was a convincing win against a Aces team who, you know me, like I said, I'm never counting the Aces out. I say it till I'm blue in the face. It's one game. Do I think it defines them? No. Mm-hmm. Do I think there's things they need to work on? Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm. But I'm never going to count the Aces out. I think they'll make the adjustments that, hopefully, that need to be made. I like to see them with their full roster available. Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, some changes need to be made, and some people need to step up. And Asia can't do it all. We've been saying it for years.
Listen,
since they've been on this run.
Yeah,
Asia is going to be Asia. Asia's going to be great always. Mm-hmm. But she needs help. It can't just be a one-woman show. She can't. Mm-hmm. She can't do it all. You know, she can't do it alone.
Especially against a team like the Liberty. Against probably 80% of the rest of the league, sure, that'll get you enough wins.
Yeah.
But to win a championship. Yeah. So they lost 92-78. Asia had 31 points, 16 boards. So she did her part. So it's like, dang, like we want to give other people the MVP, but here go Asia being Asia again at this point.
Right.
It's just consistent. My mini rant on the Aces is this. They do not have a GM. So I'm just going to think that, Becky Hammond is fulfilling that role as a GM. But it has been their problem since Candace Parker went out injured in 2023. Is that I can understand why they made the trade. I understand you bring Candace Parker in. You thought you were going to have her for at least 2 years and run the show with that core group. Obviously, Candace gets hurt. They're able to win a championship in 2023. Lose, of course, to the New York Liberty in the semifinals in 2024. And now, we're starting the season here in 25. They have the same issue since Candace Parker went down. They do not have another big who can, one, contribute offensively. So their offense just looks stagnant. At certain points, we watched the game a little bit today. When Asia has the ball and the ball is popping, the Asians look really good. And then they get in these habits where they kind of forget she's on the court. And you see a lot of threes get taken, or you see a lot of one-on-ones. And I know probably a lot of Aces fans are going to be like, it's their defense that's the problem. And sure, their defense looked rough today. Rough. But to me, a lot of it is their offense. It's just you have to have players on the floor where you just can't dump all your bigs into the paint, where Asia has no room to operate. And she still gets 31 and 16, so she's still doing her part. But at some point, they're going to have to make a move to get a post player who can contribute. Crystal Bradford, I think she can be that. She's very active. She gets all the hustle plays. It's going to be interesting to see after she comes back from her 1-game suspension how much she can give them on the offensive side of the ball. I think she'll help them defensively. And then when Cheyenne Parker-Tyus comes back after she has the baby, all-star player, to see how much she can fulfill that role. But to me, that's going to be the key. And it's no knock on the champion that is Kia Stokes. But at this point, this juncture of where the WNBA is, every single team, since they went back-to-back, has built a roster to specifically beat the Aces. And the Aces have not responded. So we'll see once these players integrate themselves in the offense, how much they can do and contribute, because I think Kia Stokes is going to have to play on that second unit to start the game, and then when it gets into crunch time, they're going to have another player on the floor. All 5 players are going to have to be able to contribute offensively. Yep. And then I ain't ready to say it yet, but I'm looking at Joy Lloyd real heavy this season.
I ain't saying that.
Game 1. I'm giving grace. But go Mamba. Go Mamba. I'm going to need you to lock in. I'm going to need you to lock in with the quickness, because these teams is hunting y'all. And, as much as I just went on my little thing about the post players, you're going to be the one. Go Mamba. So, Jewel Lloyd, we got our eye on you. Now, we're just going to cut this game. This is our X's and O's game. So we were able to go to the game today, Indiana versus Chicago. And when the WNBA released their season schedule, and they had Indiana versus Chicago playing 5 times this season, we knew what the intent was. Everybody is trying to play, not everybody, the WNBA is trying to play, and the league partners to hype up this rivalry to, push the league and all this other stuff. So before we get into the nitty gritty, let's just talk about the game first. Indiana looks good.
Indiana looks fantastic.
They look
that's
great.
With DeWanna Bonner not having
a good game. Right.
Yeah, like that's scary.
Right.
That's extremely, extremely scary.
She was able to get her points to get, I believe she's 3rd on the all-time scoring list.
Yep.
But yeah, she didn't even have a good game, and they looked this good.
Dangerous. Yeah. Like this team is dangerous. There's not much to critique. There's not much to say other than the fact that if you get DeWanna Bonner going and DeWanna Bonner's having a great game,
scary season.
Who's stopping them?
Yeah,
that's
Caitlin
really how.
Clark,
That's about
triple-double, 20 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. Got Aaliyah Boston involved. Got Natasha Cloud involved. Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard. Forgive me, we've been running it. Got Natasha Howard involved. Kelsey Mitchell, we got love for you. We Ohio based, but girl, no, she gonna shoot.
Oh, she was knocking them. She was like, no, I'll take that one. I'll take that.
Kelsey Mitchell, no, her role is green light.
Right.
But they look fantastic on the offensive end. They look fantastic defensively. I think Unrivaled done wonders for Lexi Hall. So even her, she didn't get up a lot of shots and knock down a lot of threes, but she has the capability to shoot 50% from the 3-point line. Sophie Cunningham was out, so they didn't have another sharpshooter as well. So this team is
a healthy and all engaged
dangerous.
Indiana Fever is dangerous.
Dangerous. Yeah. Chicago is giving Aces Junior
shady. Just shady.
I'm sorry.
Just shady.
They're
just
giving
shady.
Aces Junior and I
Big's got to be big. That's all I'm gonna say. Big's got to be big.
Big's got to be big, and I get
Post
that.
Up. Post up. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not one to say, you need to work Kitty Carter back into the offense, back onto the team some kind of way, but I understand teams got to make decisions for themselves. I think they have the pieces to be a really good team. The first game out, I just didn't like their offense. The reason I call them Aces Junior is because they're playing outside in instead of inside out. Let Angel and let Camilla dictate your offense. I don't understand why every time down the floor, when you got 2 bigs, give them the ball, let everybody else collapse, and then dish it out. They're running plays to bring Camilla and Angel out to set picks to run their players to the 3-point line. And it was a couple of times where Angel and or Camilla were posting up in the paint and they just shot up contested threes. And I'm like,
you gotta reward that too. Like if your bigs are posting, they're doing the work. Dish it. It's easy. That's easy offense.
And it's kind of similar to what they were having last year. The only players that look for Angel and Camilla are Angel and Camilla. Like they're the only ones looking for each other. And so I'm not the biggest fan of let's get our three. Obviously, they need 3-point shooting, but I think you establish your bigs first. Obviously, Camilla and Angel are gonna have to play better and bigger. Again, Camilla is going to be the key. How she's officiated, I think that the league is going to have to take a look at, because she has taken a lot of contact, and then on the opposite side of the floor, when she gives that contact back, she's getting called for fouls, and it doesn't seem quite right. I think she's kind of getting the BG treatment in terms of, what she can take and then what she can give out. But she's going to have to get a lot stronger with the ball and start playing mean like she did at the better part of last season for the Sky. But again, first game, to see how they looked, I just wasn't the biggest fan of how their offense were going. Like they shot way too many threes for me. I would have rather had Angel and Camilla shoot 20 times each in the post than jacking up three, or let them pass the ball out to you. So that was just our overall thoughts on how the teams looked and the game went. Obviously it was a blowout, and in that third quarter, Indiana just ran away with it. But please stay with us. We probably won't go through every single game of the WNBA season. We'll just give you some quick highlights. We're leaving this subject and topic alone unless it gets overboard. We hope that the next week the talk radio shows don't go crazy, and that's the only play out of a 40-minute game that they talk about. I'd rather them talk about Caitlin Clark's triple-double, Asia's 31-16, the Liberty looking like back-to-back, Nafisa Collier coming for the crown, Kelsey Plum being the singular star, the Mystics coming out with a whole bunch of rookies, taking a win against a whole bunch of a veteran team. That's the kind of conversation we want to stick with. So please stay with us for the rest of the season and our content. We'll be sure to keep you updated, fill you in. I am Candace, this is Kay, and this is the Playbook.